Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it and I hope that this video finds you well. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the two brand new releases by the company Kilian Paris, and this one is part of the Liquors collection and it's called Angel's Share, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Angel's Share, one of the two new by Kilian or Kilian Paris fragrances as part of the Liquors collection, I do want to encourage my subscribers to please let me know what is going to be your favorite fall/autumn fragrance. Leave a comment down below. And also, of course, if you are new to this channel, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner and, of course, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Now, I must say this was definitely one of my most anticipated fragrance releases of 2020 since the moment I found out, and I knew just by the name and the notes that are in here, the cinnamon, the tonka bean absolute, the spices, the oak, the cognac, the sandalwood, the vanilla, that this was going to be a fragrance that was right up my alley and definitely a perfect fragrance for the fall, autumn, and also the winter as well, because I do think that this one can be worn confidently over the course of the next 6 months, over the next 2 seasons. And sure enough, it did not let me down. It did not disappoint. This is such an incredible fragrance. And I think that if you are a fan of these darker, richer, boozy, sweet sorts of fragrances, if you are a fan of fragrances like Straight to Heaven, also Straight to Heaven Extreme, Black Phantom, those sweeter types of fragrances and offerings from the company by Kilian, I'm pretty confident that you're going to end up loving this one. Now, I know this one just came out. This is not my bottle. This is my good friend Carlos's bottle. He actually purchased this fragrance, but I will be purchasing this one in the very near future. So I want to go ahead and leave information down below to where you can get your hands on a bottle. All you have to do is contact Michael Hurtado, and he works over at the Kilian Boutique on Washington Street in New York. So all of his information is going to be down below. I believe the fragrance becomes available at the boutique on October 1st. It doesn't become a worldwide release, or I guess available in other department stores, until October 15th. So definitely keep that in mind. But this one is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to tell you about the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So here's the box for Angel's Share. You have the apostrophe after the S, plural possessive. I really love the presentation of this new collection, which is called the Liquors collection. This is eau de parfum strength, just keep that in mind, and I currently have the 1.7 ounce bottle. Nothing going on at the bottom, and all of your information, including the ingredients, may be located on the back. The box opens up to reveal a little sort of indentation in which the bottle rests. And here's the bottle. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. It has this metal plaque here on the front. It says Angel's Share, perfectly affixed to the bottle. I should mention that the bottom of the bottle is glass, the cap is plastic, but it seems absolutely seamless, and I think it's a really nice conversation piece. You also have the Kilian logo up here at the top. Your information is on a sticker on the bottom. The cap for this fragrance does not click into place too securely, so I wouldn't pick it up from the cap. Plus, it's a very heavy bottle, so you wouldn't want to pick it up from the cap. And the distribution on the atomizer is nice and wide. Let's continue with the smell. Now, as soon as this fragrance opens up, you are going to get this sugary, boozy goodness. And of course, when you think of the name Angel's Share, Angel's Share refers to the percentage of alcohol that is lost on account of evaporation. So when it evaporates, obviously it goes up into the atmosphere. And when you think of the heavens and where the angels live, that, kind of goes along with the name Angel's Share. I also think it would have been pretty good or pretty cool if they had another fragrance called Devil's Cut, right? The Angel's Share and the Devil's Cut, which refers to the amount that is being absorbed into the wood. But nevertheless, there is also a woodsy note in here, which is oak, but that's not what you're going to get immediately. In the opening, you're going to get this boozy, sugary thing going on in there, and I would imagine that a lot of the spices like the cinnamon contribute to that boozy accord that you get in the opening, because when you think of spirits, you also think of a lot of the spices that are used in the fermentation of said spirit. Like with ouzo, you have licorice, so on and so forth. So it opens up very sweet, delightfully sweet, and then it transitions into this creamy, smooth vanilla tonka bean combination while still keeping those spicy components that made it so addictive in the opening. The opening of this fragrance is breathtaking, and it is one of the best openings that I've smelled in a fragrance. When you smell it initially, you're gonna say, wow, like it's going to catch you off guard. It is exactly the type of fragrance that you're looking for the fall and winter. And of course, keep in mind, these are just my opinions. This is the reaction that I had when I smelled this fragrance for the first time. And it didn't really have anything to do with my expectations for this fragrance because, like I said, I was sort of really looking forward to smelling it. But even if I had not been wanting to smell it for a long time, I still would have had that visceral reaction because I just find that a lot of the ingredients that are used in here are ingredients that do personally cater to my taste. So anyways, you have this boozy opening. Nothing citrusy to speak of, nothing floral to speak of. And then it transitions into this creamy sort of vanilla tonka bean thing. And I would imagine a lot of that creaminess is also brought into the fragrance by this note of praline. Now, to be honest with you, I've encountered praline in a few other fragrances in the past, Black Excess by Paco Rabanne being one of them. And I don't really get anything that I would consider to be praline-like, but I can see if it's used in an ever so subtle manner, I can kind of imagine how it contributes to the overall fragrance, but it's awesome. If you're a fan of heavier fragrances, long-lasting fragrances that veer a little bit on the sweet side and you don't mind boozy touches, definitely check out Angel Share by Kilian Paris. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I definitely consider this fragrance to be a unique fragrance. Of course, there have been other fragrances out there with a boozy accord, cognac, whiskey, rum, whatever you want to call it, several different types of spirits, right? But in terms of the cognac and the sweetness and the way that it's being executed in this fragrance, I do actually consider this fragrance to be quite unique. I'm really happy that this was a 2020 release and it's so season appropriate because it just came out, or I should say it's coming out on October 1st. So right at the beginning of fall, giving us half a year in which we can enjoy this fragrance. And I suppose if you're wearing it in the spring on a cooler night, you can play it off there as well. So that brings us into the longevity, 8+ hours on my skin. My good friend Carlos, once again, shout out to you, my friend. He actually let me borrow his bottle. So I have been wearing his bottle, and the few times that I have put it on my skin, 8+ hours, you can wake up the next morning after washing your hands, taking a shower and everything, and you can still smell it on your hands, which is really impressive. And that's a testament as to how well it performs. Projection on this one is also very good. I don't think it ever radiates beyond an arm's length. You will get a waft from somebody if you are in their immediate bubble. Like I was sitting on the couch next to my friend and he was wearing it and I was getting wafts all the time. But then the air conditioner was also blowing in my direction and a lot of variables to factor in. But the projection is very good. And I would say right around that 7 to 8 hour mark is when it started to sit between a chest and an elbow's length. So it started to get a little bit softer, but nevertheless, it didn't fully die out. So really good projection on this one. And versatility, I think this one is better suited for the colder weather. I definitely would not wear this type of fragrance in the hotter weather. So at least the company released something that is season appropriate, which is great. I also find that this one could be totally unisex. I think that sweetness would lend itself really well to a woman who wishes to wear this one. But I also think there's this element of darkness, mysteriousness, and sophistication that is lended by the spices and the boozy nuances. So very versatile in that regard. I also find this one to be a really good dressed up fragrance, suit and tie. You really want to dress to impress, and that pertains to your olfactory accessories as well. And so I do find that this is more formal than it is casual, and I think that anybody of any age can wear this one. The sweetness makes it appropriate for somebody who's a little bit younger, and then the boozy component makes it appropriate for somebody who's a little bit older. In terms of the presentation, I absolutely love it. It looks like a whiskey glass. Even the coloration on the liquid of the bottle inside, the name, the concept, the execution, everything about it is perfect. So my final verdict on this fragrance is it has quickly become one of my favorite fragrances, and I perceive that that's how it's going to stay for a long time to come, because it's right in the wheelhouse of the types of fragrances that I am in love with. The fragrances that are darker, mysterious, resinous, spicy, boozy, sweet, you know, everything about it is just amazing. I can't wait to wear this one more often. And like I said, I will definitely be purchasing myself a bottle because I have spent the last week with it and I need this one in my collection ASAP. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of Angel Share by Kilian Paris. If you, owner, have tried this fragrance, please do go ahead and let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. And once again, please let me know which fragrance are you looking forward to wearing the most this fall/autumn. I always love the interaction and I try to respond to every comment. Also, if you are new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, please, like I said before, do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Also, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.